What it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? George Truly Petrov fucking back with another mother lover. You already know what the deal is. Grab your smoke, grab your drink, and lock 'em with your boy, because we back with another round with these TikTok liberals, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I like just saying it's a round with another set of weirdos. You already know what it is. So on that note, you already know what it is. Grab that bowl, grab your drink, and lock in with this shit, because we about to just roast some motherfuckers for fun. Let's be honest. We got to start somewhere, right? So why not start with this bowl ring having daddy and mommy issue, can't get past it in therapy looking ass bitch. Let's get on it.
Earned our flag. What did you do for your...
She's gonna say that the LBGT community earned their flag. And what did America do to earn America's flag? Now, I don't know if this bitch never spent a day, like in school and shit before indoctrination started to happen. But there is a class called history, something that, liberals like to talk about so motherfucking much. Did you not? Have you ever listened to the Star Spangled Banner? You know what I mean? Pledge of Allegiance? Any of that shit? What the fuck do you mean, you cockeyed motherfucker? Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. This the type of shit, bro, that kids see every day on TikTok because they be scrolling through whatever the fuck they be doing on there, right? You got some overweight, hungry hippo, can't get over their fucking issues, probably take a Xanny and Adderall a day just to cope with, I got problems looking ass. You're going to try to say that trans people, gay people, whatever, fought for that rainbow fucking flag? You took that shit out the motherfucking sky. That's what you did. And in this 2021, this year during Pride, I seen like the trans flag, bisexual flag. What the fuck they do for their flags? Huh? Is that kind of like the San Francisco gay choir or whatever, talking about we don't come for your children? Ha ha ha. And now they're going to try, we're the victim in it all. It was satirical. Yeah, whatever, bitch. Just saying, you know what I mean? This is the stuff that really riles, I think, people up, bro. To try to tell someone that Americans that died for this country to be what it is didn't fight for that flag, and you're going to get all hostile. We fought for our flag. You didn't fight for shit. You joined the motherfucking trend while you were in high school, and now you ain't found a way to get out that goddamn shit. That's what that shit is. Now, on to the next one. Liberals really like to talk about what about the children. And they like to say, man, conservatives always talk about what about the children? And, that whole little conversation, we've all been down that road. We ain't got to get into it. But this one right here. Could a children's book ever trigger you? No. Because I choose what I read to my kids. I choose what my kids are able to watch, what they're able to consume on their own. I choose that as the parent. Unlike this girl, probably that doesn't have any kids, gonna do a duet with the mom who thinks, ooh, she's gotta be the wokest Stepford wife on the block. Let's jump in.
I love people that say that Dr. Seuss is not triggering to them and like they can never be.
Right there. See, Stepford wife. Now she's going to go through and tell us what she raised her daughter to make sure that her daughter, her little Olivia, is the wokest in kindergarten.
Triggered by a children's book. You guys would hate what I read to my daughter every night. A is for awesome, feminist, all about women leaders.
Now see, this is where they got messed up. Conservatives, Republicans, don't give a fuck what you teach your child. They don't give a fuck what you want your kid to learn. They don't give a damn. But what we do care about is you not fucking with our kids. You can read your daughter A is for Awesome, a feminist book. Go, I don't give a fuck what you read to her. But that don't mean you get to sit down and read that shit to my kid when I'm not in the room and I'm not the one okaying it.
Don't call me princess. Girls are like more than princesses. I know, it's crazy.
I think, I mean, let's read what Rich says. Don't call me a prince. Don't call me princess. Girls are like more than princesses. I know, it's crazy. Now, I don't think calling your daughter a princess is harmful in the least, because she's your princess, right? That's your daughter. You the king, you got the queen, you got your princess, you got your prince, whatever you want it to be, right? That's what it really boiled down to 10 years ago. It just was the family layout, you know what I mean? Play your role, play your role, pimp. Do your thing, you know what I mean? Now, what she's saying is, not all girls are princesses. You're right. They're not. Especially in the grand scheme of the world. Just like not all boys are princes. And just like all men are not kings. And just like all women ain't queens. So what's the difference in you not wanting to call your daughter a princess, but yet you want motherfuckers to say, you got it going for you, queen looking ass? I bet someone refers to her as queen, she gets that little bit of an ego stroke. I guarantee you it does.
3, 2, 1, awesome. Same thing, more like feminist bullshit. I clean like daddy. Boys can clean. Crazy. Little Leaders. This is about black women in history. Great book. Meet Polka Dot. It's about a trans child and how to respect trans children. Baby Feminist talks about historical figures and how they were definitely feminists when they were babies.
Now, something that I recognize and something that I see and something that I would argue against is you are the bastion in what your children learn from, you know what I mean? You're the fountain in which they see you grow, they see you fall, they see you fail, they see this shit, right? You can read your kids whatever you want. You want to read them about transgenders, fucking feminists, daddy can clean type shit too. You can do all that shit. You can do all that shit to your kids. You can be that bastion, that fountain of whatever the fuck you want to call it for your child. But you don't get to impose your way of parenting on every other parent out there because you don't like the way that they parent. Now, whether someone found the book from Dr. Seuss racist, bigotry, whatever the fuck it was, whether they found it that way or not, that's a subjective thing. In my opinion, it's subjective. There's a lot of music out there like this, girl. We're going to have Kevin Gates singing in the background talking about children's books. What the fuck does Kevin Gates got to do with children's books? Let's keep it 100. But it's something that I see a lot. I see a lot of people try to clown the way conservatives do things because they want the conservatives to do the things that they want them to do the way that they want them to do them. And one thing that I know is I'm not going to jump when someone says to jump. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of other mother lovers out there are not going to jump when someone tells them to jump. But that's what liberals, radical liberals, socialists, communists, fucking libertarians, as far as I'm fucking concerned, that's what you want them to do. Unless, in my eyes, you're a defective liberal or a defective libertarian. Defective, whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you still rock with that radical ideology, I ain't got shit to talk to you about. Nothing. Because we ain't never going to see shit eye to eye. Ever. Just like when it comes to children's books. Liberals think that conservatives want to manhandle everyone's children. No. We don't. We just don't want you to try to come for ours. That's how I see it, and that's how I know every conservative that I know sees it. Now, on that note, you already know what it is. Let's jump into the next one. Now, this is an interesting one. Very interesting in my book. Some people might not find it as interesting as Chiboy does, but that's okay. Now, if you can see what the tweet reads from Annette, I'm sure she's a bastion of intelligence. Can we just reflect on the fact that these there are people buying fake vaccination cards so they can travel, but they're the same people that frown upon undocumented immigrants that get fake documents to work and provide for their families. Yeah, you're right. Americans are definitely going to get fake vaccination cards. They're going to find any way they can to get around this vaccine shit. And I solely support that. I hope if you don't want it, don't get it. And if they're going to try to make you get a fucking card to get it, find some way to get around that card. My brother, my sister, do your thing. Now, that being said, to compare me not wanting to get this vaccine or get a vaccination card or to have to prove my medical history to your bitch ass, to have to go through with what you want me to do. You want me to bend over backwards. You want me to jump because you want me to. You got Joe Biden out here talking about we're going to have knock door to door and we'll see if people are going to get that vaccine then. Motherfuckers ain't going to answer the door. They didn't answer it to begin with. Why would they answer that shit now? Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it honest. Because that's one thing these liberals cannot do. Let's keep it honest. Let's be truthful about this shit. Because that's one thing I really think the liberals just cannot do is be honest, bro. They don't have it in them. In my opinion, they just don't. Now, some do. But the main people, the ones that are like, let's say at the front of their movement, the ones really that got the ear of the people they need to have the ear of, those motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you, just like those conservatives in office don't give a fuck about me. There's a handful that do, though, let's be honest. But the majority, they don't give a rat's ass. Now, to compare someone, such as myself, not wanting to get the vaccine or get the vaccination card or whatever, to an undocumented immigrant who is not an American, who has no right to be in this country, who has no rights, the same God-given rights I was because of the country I was born in, that's not my fault. If I want to play games with my own government, because I was born here and they're my government, then I should be able to do so. Because, let's be honest, you don't hear a whole lot of people complaining about the people that commit tax fraud or welfare fraud or any type of fraud that affects taxpayers. But undocumented immigrants, they do affect taxpayers across the board. Across the board. In every box that could be checked that costs taxpayers money, undocumented immigrants check all those boxes. And it's okay to say that. Some might not like that, but it's true. You're here illegally, so everything you reap is technically illegal and shouldn't be yours. Because had you not been here to reap a system that, let's be honest, this system, our immigration system right now is kind of a jacked up one. And there's no reason to say that it's not, because it is. But in my opinion, to compare the two is some real dumbass shit. Because you're comparing Americans who don't want to get a vaccine because they don't want a vaccine, or they don't believe in the science, they don't back the science, it's being pushed, this, that, the other. Some people might just don't want it because they don't want it. It might not have anything to do with politics. It might have anything to do with Trump or Biden or Kamala Harris or Ilhan or AOC. It might not have anything to do with any of them. They might just not want to get it because they could believe that they have already had COVID, so they could have the antibodies, or they could just be a God-fearing person like I am, and I'll leave it to God. And if that's the way that I'm supposed to be out, is because of COVID, then that's the way I'm supposed to go. If I'm supposed to get sick with COVID, then that's God's plan. If I'm not, that's God's plan, whether I like it or whether you like it or whether any of us like it. And I think that thought is what helps me get through a lot of days where shit is just questionable at the very least. Now, the young fella that's going to talk after this, how to say it, this asshole, because that's all she is an asshole, that is going to push straw man talking points, that's going to push a narrative that we've all heard 1,000 times from 1,000 different people, but that's what she's going to push. We can go through her videos if need be, but let's get to the young fella going to talk.
Undocumented immigrants that get fake documents to work.
Alright, so obviously you don't give a shit what your fellow Americans have to say, so maybe you're gonna listen to me. I am an immigrant in this country. I am here legally. I have no fucking right to be on American soil. I wasn't born here. I'm not a citizen that was born in this country. I have a right that was granted to me when I got my status and all of my documents.
When homie went through the system the right way, he went through the process to become an American. He went through the citizenship. He got a citizenship, and now he is an American. Welcome to the land of the brave. Because that's really what it seems to be at this moment. You gotta be brave to believe in anything that the left doesn't make you wanna throw up thinking about, let's be honest. And I like how he chimed in right away with, since you don't wanna listen to any of your fellow Americans, maybe you'll listen to me, an immigrant. Someone that's not allowed to be here. But because I went through a process, now I am allowed to be here. That speaks volumes. Because there's a lot of people out here, and I mean a lot, that are beyond okay with illegal immigration going the way it's going. We have our elected leaders, such as Ilhan Omar in Minnesota, and I'm going to use her because he brings her up. He brings up AOC. But he goes, Ilhan Omar decided that she was going to tweet out in her infinite wisdom that all illegal immigrants should have a pathway to citizenship. All of them should. Every illegal immigrant in the United States right now should have a path to citizenship. Off top, I don't have a problem with that actual thought. I'll be honest, I don't. But when you think about the nitty and gritty of it, you can't give everybody a pass because not everybody that's going to come here is going to be allowed to be here. Just like if you have a felony, Canada doesn't want you coming across their fucking border. Why? Because you were a problem here. What makes you think that you're not going to be a problem there? Now, there could be definitely some different case-by-case basis type shit. But there's a lot of rappers that aren't allowed in Canada. There's a lot of Canadians that ain't allowed in the United States. So, when we think about immigration and we think about people coming from the southern border illegally, and they're going to come here and they're going to work the system, and believe you me, they're going to work that system. Because what else are you going to do? You know what I mean? What else do we expect them to do? Just to come up here and live on the side of the street? I mean, I'm sure, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's homeless people out there that came from other countries because it's easy being homeless here. Let's be honest. They got entire fucking encampments set up. And people can get mad at that statement all they want, but that's the fucking truth. But this man is speaking a lot of facts that liberals cannot stomach. Let's let him finish before I start finishing, you know what I mean?
But besides that, I don't have any right to be in this country. This country, America, to me as an immigrant, does not owe me shit, regardless of what AOC and Ilhan and all the other liberals are telling you about. This country doesn't owe me anything. However, you as an American citizen, you should have the right to travel freely through the country without anybody telling you nothing.
The same people that frown upon
And I'd have to ask him. I'd have to ask someone that opposes that. Where is he wrong? Why should Americans have to have a fucking vaccine passport to go from here to New York? If you're in Minnesota, why should you have to have a vaccine passport to go to motherfucking New York? Oh, because New York wants you to? I have a coworker, man, wants to go out to Cali. I don't know why, and believe you me, he be making the same kind of comments I do about their shit and their homelessness and all the problems that they have, because we be cracking plenty of jokes. Mind you, there's a lot of conservatives out here. A lot of them have a thing called a job. Now, he wants to go out to Cali, right? That's cool. Go out to Cali, do your thing. He said he don't have to be vaccinated to go out there, but he has to be vaccinated to fly back. What kind of fuckery is that? Now, I asked him, you should look into that legally. I don't know if they can do that. But then again, I'm not a lawyer. I just think that everybody should look into it before they have to assume that they're going to have to get something they may not want to get or something they might want to put in their body. Now, something that a lot of people might not like is we talk about there was a TikTok earlier. I don't know where it is. Hold on, give me a sec. Yeah, I can't find the TikTok, but there was a TikTok earlier going over 2 tweets. I think her name was Tommy Lauren made. I'm not sure if that's her name, but she was talking about the measles and having to get vaccinated for the measles, and if you didn't, you were hurting Americans. And then when it came to the COVID-19 vaccine, she was talking about she's not going to get it, all this extra shit. People are going to try to make the two comparisons as if they're the same. They're not. And something that I have seen as an argument, a lot of Americans, a lot of liberals, will argue that the vaccine has been studied for years because it's a coronavirus vaccine. It's been studied. It's been, but it hasn't been. You know what I mean? That's the truth. It hasn't. If it has been, why is it still under emergency authorization? You know what I mean? Why is Pfizer and Moderna talking about a possible booster shot? You know what I mean? So if these things have really been in the works for years, why are these questions just popping up now? Shouldn't that be something that doesn't need to pop up? Because it's already been handled, it's already been dealt with? Or is that just another lie that we're being fed in? You know what I mean? So and that's how I look at it. Now, like, I don't know if you guys can see on the screen, I'm gonna go slow, but conservatives, after their grandma dies from not being able to afford chemo, we can hit that one. Or when you get a vaccine, so you can go back to isolating while wearing a mask, but now doing it vaccinated, because that's really what the left really wants you to go out. They want you to get Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, the Johnson & Johnson. They want you to get all these shots, all of them. Then they want you to go home, and they want you to put a mask on because you're in the house, and then they want you to make sure you're 6 feet apart from your partner, your kids, your grandma, your grandpa. They want everybody vaccinated though, right? But they still all want you to wear masks and stay socially distanced and all this shit, bro. That's wild. And even liberals got to understand how wild that shit is. Yep, homies coming to smoke a blunt right now. Now let's hit this one right real. Is that really what this cuck simp thinks? Is that there's conservatives out here really doing that dance because the grandma couldn't afford chemo? Now, I know everybody done lost somebody to cancer. That's why everybody can scream fuck cancer, right? But isn't this a little fucked up for dude to assume that that's what conservatives do? To generalize such a morbid thought? I've never seen anybody ever dance when someone dies of cancer. I've never seen anybody smile or be happy because someone can't afford the chemo treatment. But one thing I think is that this young fella probably gets quite happy when he hears that one of his oppositions or someone he doesn't like dies in some horrible fashion. I'm sure he hated Rush Limbaugh and was happy that when Rush came out and said he had cancer. I'm sure he was ecstatic. But the fact that this young man is going to make it seem so nonchalant when elders die because of something that they couldn't afford to cure, something they couldn't afford to fight, that's really some sour, salty shit. And like I said, this is the first time I've seen this video, so this pure reaction right here is just fucked up. And I think it's a way to get clicks, it's a way to get views, it's a way to get someone that's on the wild left to come out and be like, oh, that's my buddy, type funky shit. That's why I classify these motherfuckers as weirdos, because that's really what it is. This is some really weird shit that you think motherfuckers are happy about. Just weird as fuck. Now, see, that's more truthful right here. This statement is definitely more truthful than homeboys about chemo or cancer. Liberals definitely are happy about having to go back into isolation, wearing a mask and shit in their own house, bro. Having sanitizer in every room, bro. They're putting on hand sanitizer like porn stars take cum shots. They squirting it all over, bro. Let's keep it 100. Yeah, so we're gonna find one more for this round. We found it. It wasn't hard, but we found it. Now, this Morticia wannabe Adams Family looking motherfucker. I'm gonna keep it 100 all day, every day, bro. That's what she is. She doing this shit for clicks. You got that. You looking like goth Mimi from the fucking Drew Carey show. You know what I mean? You look like you missed a fucking ride down to the motherfucking carnival or the circus, bro. Let's keep it 100. You're taking goth too far. You're taking that emo shit way too far, and you probably don't even believe in that shit. You probably just like the way it looks. Just saying. Now, conservatives imagining being oppressed because they aren't real life. Point of view. The cops arrest you for being Christian and feed you to 30 to 50 feral hogs. Now, I would definitely say that there's probably some people out there that have been arrested. How to say it? There's probably some innocent people out there that were arrested. And they were Christian. And that probably had nothing to do with why they were arrested. But yet they were still Christian. So I would say it probably had something to do with it, at least in this person's opinion or whatever. I'm playing their little fantasy right here. But conservatives imagining being oppressed because they aren't real life. Okay, well, what if a conservative is black or Hispanic or indigenous, as you motherfuckers would like to say? Or what if they're from Somalia or Liberia? You know what I mean? What if they're from fucking Estonia? What if they're from fucking Europe or Russia? And they're conservative? What if they're from Venezuela or Cuba? And they're conservative? Are they really not oppressed in real life? What if they're from Iran or Iraq or Turkey or Jordan or Syria? See, it's a really ballsy statement to act, and a lot of TikTokers do this, man. A lot of them take this grand generalization stance as if they know exactly what they're talking about whole through and through. But let's be honest, they probably don't have any conservative friends. They probably don't hang around with conservatives because they can't stand them. They can't deal with them. They trigger them. They got to find a safe space when the conservative's in the room. Let's be honest. This girl would probably melt down crying having a conversation with Bryson Gray. Let's just keep it a buck.
The air inside my lungs, ripping all the skin from all.
She's never been arrested. She's never been put in cuffs. I'm going to say that wholeheartedly. She's probably never been punched in the face. She's probably never had her ass kicked. She probably has had a pretty decent life. And that's why she's making the TikTok the way she is, because she wants people to know that she is your ally and she is in your corner. Because that's all she can really give you. She doesn't have any advice. She doesn't have any life experience in the situation. So all she can give you is her allyship in hopes to get clicks and views for her TikTok account. Let's just keep it 100.
My bones, I'm prepared to sacrifice my life. I would gladly do it twice. Consuming all.
Now, I don't really think that she would give her life for a conservative or a Christian if there were any type of situation that was harmful or could cause them their death. I think she would keep on walking. That's my personal opinion. I think there's a lot of TikTokers like this on the app, and that's one of the reasons I do the rounds the way I do them, because I think sometimes reality might have to hit some of these motherfuckers back in the face, and because all this is seeking validation. You're seeking validation on TikTok, so people are like, you go, girl. Yeah, you so right. That shit, you know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons that I do the show the way I do, because I think a lot of people would see this shit and have the same thoughts I do and think about this like, damn, is these fucking kids serious? Is these idiots serious? Is these retards serious? Because that's really what it comes down to. And that's why I say, weirdos, bro. She is a fucking weirdo. Your whole aura, your whole fucking ambiance is a fucking weirdo, bro. And I'm going to keep saying that shit till I'm gray in the face, bro. These are a bunch of motherfucking weirdos. And if you think they're weirdos, like this motherfucking episode. If you made it this far into the episode and you think they're weirdos too, like the video for your boy. On those notes, you already know what it is. Stay tuned for another round against these motherfucking weirdos on TikTok. On that note, you already know what it is. Stay blazed, stay blessed, stay safe. Peace.